So the average price of a gallon of gasoline across the country now, $4.56 a gallon. It just keeps going up. How much higher is it going to go? There isn't a single state in the country now where gasoline is less than $4 a gallon. And if you want to buy diesel, add another dollar on top for a gallon of diesel. So North Dakota, my state, is a big energy producing state. But we're also a big ag state. Now think about what those prices mean for our farmers who are just now getting out in the field. Not only the fuel, the gasoline, the diesel that they need to run their tractors or other equipment, but fertilizer. Look at what that's done, because fertilizer is very energy intensive, right? Okay, so not only is their fuel much higher, now their fertilizer, if they can even get it, that's much higher too. That puts a huge burden on the people that produce our food supply every single day. And that's not just a burden on our farmers and ranchers. What does that translate into? Well, our farmers and ranchers produce the highest quality, lowest cost food supply in the world that every single American benefits from every single day. But when they have those increased energy costs caused by the Biden administration's energy policies, that affects every single American every single day because it's in the food supply, right? So when you look at inflation, a huge component of inflation across the board in every product is that energy cost. And it's because the Biden administration has put the handcuffs on our energy producers, whether it's restricting things like Keystone XL pipeline or restricting our ability to build gas gathering systems so we don't have to flare natural gas, right? Instead, we can get it to market, whether it's putting a moratorium on federal lands, onshore and offshore. And oh, by the way, then he says, well, we're going to reverse that, but he only opens up 20%, but he raises the royalty rate, and then he stops actual leases. He just stopped the lease in Alaska. He just stopped leasing in the Gulf of Mexico. So that moratorium continues, but then the Biden administration says, well, no, just produce the leases you have. Well, the problem there is they're holding up the permits and the ability to produce those leases because of the blizzard of regulations and in the courts. So those leases then can't be produced either. So it's the regulatory burden they put out there as well. And then it not only affects us in terms of our economy, it's a national security issue. Our inability to permit LNG facilities means we can't get natural gas to our allies in Europe, in Western Europe. And so that makes them dependent on Russia at the very time that we're working to fight against, to support Ukraine in their fight against Russian aggression. So it's not only an economic imperative that affects every American every day, it's a national security imperative. We need a change in this energy policy. We need a change in this energy policy right now for all those reasons and more. And that's why it's incumbent on all of us and people across this country to stand up and say, all right, Biden administration, enough of this. Enough of this. Quit telling us that you're trying to help us with this inflation problem when you continue to restrict our ability to produce energy in this country.